Dan Gilbert was not the first owner to hate the all-time best player in his franchise. But their toxic relationship wasn't the worst. It's not even close. Because even if LeBron and Dan Gilbert never speak again, Bron's jersey will 100% be in Cleveland's rafters. You can't say the same for the greatest Timberwolf of all time, Kevin Garnett, an MVP, an NBA champion, the man that prevented Kobe from potentially getting his 6th ring. In 2020, KG was asked about his jersey being retired by the T-Wolves one day. He shot it down. Hard. It wouldn't be genuine, he said. Not as long as Glenn Taylor is the owner. And Garnett capped it off with a scathing attack on Taylor. I don't do business with snakes. This is a ClutchPoints original on the complicated beef history between KG and billionaire Glenn Taylor. The story really begins in the late 90s, after the Big Ticket was drafted by Minnesota in 1995. The Wolves took him with the 5th overall pick, and Garnett became one of the pioneers of going straight to the NBA out of high school. In just his 2nd year, KG was named an All-Star, his first of 15 career All-Star selections. The Wolves knew they had a star big man on their hands. So what did they do? Basically, nothing. And that peeved Garnett. KG was never surrounded with the talent needed to win a title. Owner Glenn Taylor avoided spending big in order to get a 2nd star, but he did reward Garnett with a monster 6-year, $126 million deal in 1998. Over the course of the contract, Garnett's best teammate was Wally Serviak. While he was no scrub, he was merely a one-time All-Star who could shoot, and not the kind of player who could be second fiddle on a title contender. The Cavs made the same mistake pairing him with LeBron. In 2004, KG did get some semblance of help in the form of Sam Cassell and Latrell Sprewell, and Garnett had the best season of his career, taking them all the way to the Western Conference Finals, and winning MVP along the way. But Cassell and Sprewell were aging and only played one more year for the Wolves, and KG didn't sniff the playoffs for the next 3 seasons. In 2005, head coach Flip Saunders was fired. After almost 10 years with the team, he had developed a great rapport and friendship with Garnett. Still, KG stayed with the Wolves. But in 2007, Glenn Taylor started shopping Garnett in trade talks, and KG was traded to the Celtics in exchange for 5 players and 2 draft picks in an historic deal. Teaming up with Ray Allen and Paul Pierce, Garnett was finally on a winner and won the only ring of his career in Boston. In 2015, at the tail end of his career, Garnett came back home. Flip Saunders was back as the Wolves coach and was a minority owner of the team. And a trade with the Nets sent KG back to Minnesota for one final hoorah. Garnett also agreed to return with the promise of having a larger role in management and ownership once he retired. There was a reported understanding between KG and Taylor about his future in Minnesota. Garnett and Taylor, though, were still not on speaking terms. And it was up to Flip Saunders, who was trusted by both, to be the mediator. But soon after, Saunders was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma and passed away before the start of the 2015-16 season. The disconnect between the franchise and its star was further seen when the Wolves put together a tribute video to Flip Saunders, with various players speaking on their relationship with the late coach. But Garnett, the franchise star and longtime friend of Saunders, wasn't asked to be in the video. When the season ended, KG retired and was ready to take over the management side of things, just as they'd agreed. But Glenn Taylor instead appointed Tom Thibodeau as head coach. KG saw the move as Taylor dishonoring their agreement. Flip Saunders had been his only advocate, but without him around, Garnett had no one to turn to. KG noted that he wouldn't forgive Taylor for going back on their arrangement. In that time since, several members of the franchise have tried to get Garnett to come back for a jersey retirement ceremony. But with betrayal and beef on his mind, Minnesota's franchise player wants nothing to do with the team as long as Glenn Taylor is around. But hope is on the way, with Alex Rodriguez buying majority ownership of the Timberwolves in 2021. Seems like KG will finally get his wish.